All right, let's get right into it. We're about to crack open a text that claims to hold the master key to reality itself. It's called the Kybalion. And right from the get-go, it hits you with this warning. It's basically saying, hey, there are some serious secrets in here, but they're only for those who are actually ready to understand. So that brings us to the core question of this whole thing. What if you could completely change your reality? Not by moving mountains or anything like that, but just by changing what's going on up here. So how is that even possible? Well, to get the answer, we need to take a trip back in time. Way back. We're talking about the secret teachings of a legendary master.
So this book, the Kybalion, it popped up in 1908, written by 3 people who just called themselves initiates. Total mystery. They claimed it was a guide to something called Hermeticism, a philosophy so secret, so powerful, it was only ever passed down from lip to ear, master to student, for literally thousands of years.
And who was the original source of all this incredible knowledge? A figure who's practically a legend, Hermes Trismegistus. I mean, the ancient Egyptians called this guy the thrice great, the master of masters, the one who started it all.
But here's what's really cool. The book makes it super clear. It's not trying to be a new religion or some strict set of rules. No, it's something else. It's offering you a master key, a way to unlock and make sense of all the other doors of knowledge out there.
Okay, you ready? Let's take that key and make the first, most important turn. This first principle, it's the foundation for everything else. And honestly, it's a total mind-bender. It basically tells us that the universe is absolutely not what we think it is.
Here it is, the big one. The all is mind. The universe is mental. Just let that sink in for a second. It means that everything you think is solid, real, and out there is actually, at its very core, a creation of consciousness.
So what does that really mean? It means the chair you're in right now, the device you're watching this on, even your own body. It's all part of a mental creation. It's all being held in the mind of one single infinite consciousness that the book calls the all. You could almost think of our entire reality as a universal dream.
Okay, so if the universe really is a mental creation, a thought, then just like any complex system, it has to have rules, right? An operating system. Well, the next 6 principles are exactly that. They are the source code for reality.
Now, don't forget that first principle, mentalism, is the bedrock. Everything is mind. These next 6 principles are going to show us exactly how that mental universe works. Put them all together and bam, you've got the complete master key.
First up, we have the principle of correspondence. You've probably heard the saying, as above, so below. That's this. It means that the universe is holographic. The same patterns repeat on every single scale. The laws that spin galaxies are the same laws that spin atoms. And here's the kicker. It applies to you. What's happening in your mind is directly mirrored in your life. It's all connected.
So what is everything actually made of then? The principle of vibration has a pretty wild answer for that. We look at a table and think that's solid. But according to this, that's just an illusion. Everything, and I mean everything, from a rock to a thought to a feeling, is just energy vibrating. The only difference is the frequency. Think about it. Ice, water, steam. They're all the same thing, just vibrating at different speeds.
Which leads us perfectly into the next one, polarity. This is so cool because it helps us understand the range of all those vibrations. It says that opposites aren't really opposites at all. They're actually 2 sides of the same coin. Hot and cold? Nope, just different degrees of temperature. Love and hate? They're not separate things. They're just the 2 extreme ends of the very same spectrum.
And once you start seeing these poles everywhere, you can't unsee the next principle, which is rhythm. Everything flows. Everything has its tides. It's like a giant pendulum swinging back and forth between those 2 poles. You see it in history with empires rising and falling. You see it in the economy with booms and busts. And you feel it in your own life with moods swinging high and low. It's a universal law, and if you try to fight it, you're going to get tossed around. Next up is a big one, cause and effect. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly deep. Basically, nothing happens by chance. There are no accidents. Every single thing that happens, every effect, has a cause that led to it. The real power move here is to stop being a pawn, just an effect of what happens to you, and start being the player, the one who consciously sets the causes in motion.
So how do you actually create something new? How do you become that cause? Well, that's where the final principle, gender, comes in. And heads up, this has nothing to do with physical bodies. We're talking about creative energies. Everything has both a masculine principle, that's the assertive, doing energy, and a feminine principle, the receptive, being, and nurturing energy. For anything to be created, from a new idea to a new business, you absolutely need both.
Okay, so we've got the 7 principles. That's the theory, the operating system of reality. But what good is knowing the rules of the game if you don't actually know how to play? This is where it all comes together. This is where we get practical. We're talking about the art of mental alchemy.
You know all those old stories about alchemists trying to turn lead into gold? The Kybalion says that was just a metaphor. The real alchemy, the true transmutation, wasn't about metal. It was about your mind. It's the art of turning the heavy, leaden state of, say, fear into the bright, shining gold of courage.
So how do you actually do it? Let's get super practical. Imagine you're stuck in a state of fear. Step 1. Use the principle of polarity. You recognize that fear isn't some fixed thing. It's just one end of the pole. And what's on the other end? Courage. Step 2. Change your vibration. You use your will, your focus, to deliberately slide up that pole towards courage. You start thinking courageous thoughts, acting in a courageous way. Step 3. You become the cause. You've just shifted yourself from being a pawn of your emotions to the master of your own mental state.
But hold on, there's a huge trap here. A really subtle paradox that separates someone who just knows the theory from a true master. Getting this final point, this is the real secret.
See, the half-wise person hears the universe is mental and thinks, oh cool, it's all an illusion, so none of it matters. I can just ignore the rules. But that person is like a sleepwalker, bumping into walls and getting bruised by the very laws they're trying to deny. The truly wise person gets it. They understand that even though the universe is mental, its laws are absolutely real for us. So they don't deny the laws, they master them. They learn to use a higher law, like their will, to overcome a lower one, like the natural rhythm of a bad mood.
And that right there is the final crucial takeaway. Mastery isn't about pretending the game has no rules. It's about knowing the rules so well that you can use them to your advantage. It's about transmutation, not denial. That is the true weapon of the master.
So there you have it. The Kybalion doesn't just give you a philosophy. It hands you the entire operating manual for reality. It gives you the rules to a game that's being played entirely in the mind. So the only real question left is, now that you know the rules, how are you going to play?